Hello, Meow Meows. Thank you for your time today. My name is Kai.
And my name is Kat, and we are the 6 a.m. Meow Meows.
Happy Tuesday! We are so happy to be here today.
What we plan to focus on within this first series, Rising with the Sun, is the importance of connecting with yourself.
Healing, understanding, and becoming present with yourself. Intending your energy and presence for the day.
And setting up the foundation for your future. We love discussing topics together, but more than anything, we love to learn. So stay tuned for information on how you can join these conversations. Alrighty, Meow Meows, let's get started.
Meow!
Meow! Good morning, Meow Meows. Good morning, Miss Kai. How are you?
I am quite lovely, madame. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I got my yoga in this morning at a whopping 5 a.m.
Proud.
Yeah, feeling fantastic about it. And I feel like it's perfect because today we are talking about breath and movement. And so I know that you do a lot of work with breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just love if you kind of walked us through what is focused breathing, what is conscious breathing.
Wow, I thank you for asking me. I would be honored. I love guiding people through breathing and relaxation. So get comfy. Get
Okay.
comfy in your chair, or if you're sitting down, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and out of your mouth. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. In through your nose. And out of your mouth. In through your nose. And out of your mouth. Continuing that breath. Breathing deep breaths from the moment you wake up to as you are falling asleep, to focus on the mind and body. A part of our human creation is we breathe. If we don't breathe, we die. So why not focus on breathing techniques to assist us in life? You can be breathing unconsciously or consciously. There's unconscious breaths, which is breathing without thinking. When you are sleeping, when you're out working, or when you're just talking with a friend. Then there's conscious breaths, which is connecting your conscious mind to your breath, as we've done with Miss Cat.
And it's been lovely. All right, so what are some of the benefits that you found that comes from conscious breathing?
I would say the first thing that comes to my mind is connecting with your body, and that sense of feeling aligned with my body, especially if I have any pain or soreness. I'm able to breathe and understand and locate where that pain is or soreness is coming from. And maybe not completely relieve the pain, but at least breathe through it and ease the soreness or pain coming from it. And also breathing with connecting with your inner sensations, which is just having the sense of your inner body. Like hear and feel your heartbeat, or when you can feel your lungs get big when you breathe in and when they get small when you breathe out. And if you move your hand ever so lightly, you can feel your joints and your muscles move.
A lot of mindfulness, yeah, for sure.
Oh, most definitely. I also think, I'm a big energy person, so it increases your energy levels. Like breathing with the breath of fire. It creates powerful energy from deep, controlled breaths in and out of your body.
Oh, yeah. Well, because what feeds your muscles is actually oxygen. I think that people get it confused often where like protein is the building block of muscle, but I'm like, oxygen.
Oxygen.
Oxygen. So, what are some other benefits that you found?
Oh, gosh, when I'm sitting there breathing, all types of thinking arises. I mean, when I'm able to breathe by myself, I'm able to quiet the world around me, which can definitely include silencing some negativity that I have had or that comes up recently. You can be able to focus on these negative thoughts, breathe, and release through them rather than allowing them to fester.
Yeah. Well, and I think also with that, and this again is kind of touching on mindfulness, but if you bring objectivity to those thoughts and focusing through your breath kind of allows you to see the thoughts for what they are, objectively, like think of them as objects. They're not a part of you, they're not you. You can allow them to release as you are breathing out. And yeah, I've definitely noticed that with breathing, but especially noting that, you should be objective about your thoughts. You should not be identifying with them.
No, no, you should not. I feel like I've been able to have more clear thoughts with my emotions, which has so dearly helped me create a positive outlook on life.
Yeah.
I also find that it's able to calm myself and my mind through any emotions, stress levels, or triggers, bringing my mind levels to a peaceful state of mind and allowing myself to look and focus inward on the body and the mind to work through things rather than letting those stresses take over you.
How do you think the body affects No, sorry. How do you think breathing affects the body physically?
How do you think breathing affects the body physically? Hmm. I would have to say blood flow and your heart rate. I mean, getting your heart rate to beat faster than just a resting rate actually trains your body to move more oxygen and blood to your muscles more efficiently. I mean, raise your energy and raise your heart rate. I also physically would have to say it affects your posture. I mean, take a breath in, your chest rises, and you can feel your body and your spine straighten.
Yeah,
Aligning
absolutely.
your posture to have better stances helps you actually breathe better. Now, I don't think it can be a painkiller, but I know from personal experience that it has been a pain reducer. So it reduces stress related inflammation by
Mm,
becoming present by relieving your pain through your breath.
yeah, well, and I know that there is a relationship to endorphins and breathing as well. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm sure it kind of like heightens your breath of fire, as you call it. Maybe even just creating that sense of urgency,
Mhm.
kind of, triggering your fight or flight in a good way.
I would have to agree with that actually.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to touch on diaphragmatic breathing,
Okay.
which I love. Is my favorite type of breathing because
I
it's your
don't actually know, so you are educating me
ooh,
currently.
you're learning.
Okay.
So diaphragmatic breathing is just belly breathing in and out of your belly.
Oh, I'm sure I've
Um,
done this in choir.
oh, probably. So the diaphragm is a large muscle that sits at the base of the lungs. When a person inhales, their diaphragm contracts and moves downward, creating space for the lungs to expand and fill with air, which I think is amazing. I love human bodies so much. When a person exhales, the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward to help move air out of the lungs. I think this breathing definitely helps strengthen the diaphragm, obviously, improve stability with the core muscles. Breathing this way, for me, it definitely helps promote my relaxation because I'm able to focus on that muscle. Different breathing that helps reduce the stress, which obviously goes in hand with promoting relaxation. But again, this type of breathing is not for everyone. So if you've never done this breathing before, ease your way in because if you do this too much, you could pass out. Not saying you would, but just be consciously aware that you gotta take time because it's something different. But since we are talking about movement in our belly, let's talk about sitting and the lack of movement. Kat, how detrimental do you think sitting can be?
Well, from an evolutionary standpoint, I'm like, we were made with movement and we were made from movement. We have evolved within the structure of moving. So to cut out movement would not be advised for healthy, functioning human lives. We're human beings with human bodies, and human bodies were meant to move.
I completely agree. The structuring of this world has made it very easy to believe that we can simply sit to work. We can simply sit to relax. We can simply sit to get to our next destination. Our bodies are not meant to sit for this long. I mean, excessive sitting has been a fairly new problem within the human history. Within 200 years ago, 200 years, which is not that long ago if you really think about it, people were only sitting for an average of 3 to 5 hours a day, which can seem kind of long. But the modern day Americans today sit for 13 to 15 hours a day. That is over half of the day that we're sitting.
Yeah, it's insane. I heard that the average American only takes 3,000 to 5,000 steps a day. And you could complete that in an hour of regular walking. That means that the average American has less than an hour of like movement a day.
That blows my mind.
It should blow your mind. It's really atrocious.
It is. It's so sad. Why the fuck are we not moving, guys?
I don't know. I mean, it's obviously it's a cultural thing. But we have so much talk about stiffness and pain and soreness. And I think that, we just kind of knock it off as like our body's failing us when really we're the ones failing our bodies.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
We are failing our bodies. So why not live up to our potential that we could be? I mean, having difficulty moving around, aches or pains, your body is not as healthy as it should be.
I heard this idea from Peter Attia, and he was talking about training, like you're training for a sport, but the sport is to be a kick-ass 100-year-old.
Kick-ass 100-year-old.
Yeah, so it's basically the idea of like in your 80s, in your 90s, you should be able to lift 20 to 30 pounds. You should be able to lift your luggage up into an overhead bin at the airport. You should be able to pick up a child that's running towards you. But not being able to move on your own, not being able to have balance, to stand or to trust yourself not to fall. Because a large thing that happens with elderly is not so much that they can't walk, it's that they don't have their balance and they can't catch themselves if they fall. And that's how so many injuries actually happen. So he basically proposed this idea of mobility, flexibility, and balance so that you're taking care of all your joints, you're taking care of all your muscles, you're getting fluid into those spaces, and you're taking care of yourself so that once you get into those later ages, you're able to function as, kind of a healthy 50 or 60-year-old would today. And so essentially it's like start training for that sport because in 80 years or in 70 years or in 60 years, that's going to be you.
Yeah. Take care of yourself now so you can be able to do that. This is super crazy. I just have to add this is I was working and we have like a drive up for people to exchange and do what they need to do. And I had this older gentleman. He came through on his bike, which is awesome. I love bike riding. And
how old do you think he was?
I know exactly how old he was because his name popped up and has his information. He was 92 years old.
Fuck yeah.
He was bike riding and he was able to be completely consciously there during the conversation as just any person should be doing. And holy shit, I'm so proud of him for being able to, that he did take care of himself because he's 92 years old and he's on a bike.
Yeah, and that's exactly what that looks like.
And that's how it should be. Why are so many people dying at 50, 60, 70.
Because it's their choice.
It is their choice. It is their choice on what they're consuming, and it is affecting their body. And
well, and not just on, the physical
No.
side of what you're putting into your body,
Yes.
the external, but what you're doing to maintain your body
right.
on the inside.
They go hand in hand.
They do. It's really important.
So
all right.
Why do you think? I mean, I don't know. How do I ask that?
Yeah.
I think movement is important for a happy and healthy life. And one of the biggest things that comes to my mind is decreasing stress.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, I mean, feeling free from many anxieties. I've been able to encourage my own friends and family to continue to move more often because I know how much it's affected my life, and I can see now that it has been making them feel happier too.
I just know that the difference between my mornings with no movement and the difference between my days where I get my heart rate up right away in the morning, I get going, and I'm basically generating that energy for the rest of my day.
So how does it feel when you get, okay, I want you to compare this. How does it feel when you don't get your heart rate up first thing when you wake up compared to when you do?
It's honestly like gonna go right back to eating the frog. Like my brain is going to avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the longer I wait to just dive the fuck in, the more my brain is going to convince me that we don't need to do it. It doesn't want to overextend itself.
Mm-mm.
But I know, and it's become my identity and my routine at this point, that we get our heart rate up first thing in the morning. The first thing we do is try and flood ourselves with, pleasure chemicals and dopamine being the biggest one. Which honestly is the third reason that I think movement is so important for a happy, healthy life is because of the pleasure chemicals that are released, dopamine being the biggest one. So it not only goes back to the idea of integrity, doing what you said you were going to do, and moving yourself towards your goals, whatever they may be that you've set for yourself. But also, dopamine is connected to a part of the brain that kind of initiates you to move forward. And the reason that we feel stressed out when we don't move is because stress was designed to agitate us and move us forward.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, from an evolutionary standpoint, we survived because we were moving. We survived because we were hunting. We survived because we were gathering. We survived because we were building, So stress is basically your body in survival, your mind in survival, saying we will not survive if you don't move forward. And so now, from a modern day standpoint, we are not in survival anymore, but our brains still think we are.
Right.
So now we're in a psychological survival.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That kind of hits hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes a lot of sense. And you can give a lot of compassion to this.
Of course.
But you really have to decide, am I going to lean into stress and get moving? Or am I going to try and suppress it and run the risk of becoming depressed?
Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I would much rather just get moving.
Me too.
Yeah.
So how else do you think pleasure chemicals can come into play with movement?
Well, I think we all know about endorphins. Like endorphins are kind of what gets sparked up when you're like going and you don't realize how tired you are. And you also have this burst of energy and pleasure coming from that aggressive movement. A serotonin is another one, and serotonin is related to everything from like regular digestion to sleep, but it also regulates your mood. So serotonin is a big factor when it comes to combating depression and anxiety as well. So serotonin is also really important. But again, dopamine. Dopamine is directly connected with movement. And again, like I've said, mentally, it'll affect you because you believe I'm moving myself towards my goal. I'm getting that dopamine hit. I have more motivation because I believe I'm on the right track. And your brain will kind of supply you with that. But as you get moving, your brain will also begin to realize, oh, we're moving forward literally. We are moving forward in our goals, but we are moving forward in this space. We are moving towards our best case of survival, you know? So
Right.
it really rewards you for that. And your body is always really going to reward you for the effort you put in and the movement you put in because we evolved from fitness payoffs. So that's the thing that your body is most likely to reward you for, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It definitely makes sense. So, between those ones, which one is your favorite? I think I can guess, but
Oh, of the pleasure chemicals?
yeah, the pleasure
It's
chemicals.
dopamine. I love dopamine so much. Well, and I love it because it's like you control the dosing of it. So, I mean, it's essentially like, there's lots of drugs that replace dopamine, which is the reason we all like the drugs that we have problems with.
Right.
But dopamine is something you can control the secretion of, and I just fucking love that. I can say to myself, I'm gonna get my dopamine hit this morning because I'm doing what I said I was gonna do.
And it kind of gives me just like a little bit of excitement to say I have the control of my dopamine.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's really going to do you a lot of favors when it comes to any sorts of addictions. Or for someone overcoming an addiction, being able to kind of adjust that for yourself and reclaim the trigger of what secretes it, if that makes sense.
Now, could it be I think the addiction can be both the physical sense of objects that we are addicted to, and or it could be the things that we are also mentally and emotionally addicted to, because those all go hand in hand. So I want you to choose. I want you to choose, Kat, being conscious with your breath or being conscious with your movement. Which one is more important? If you can choose.
Oh, I don't think I can. Which is more important, conscious breath or conscious movement?
Why would I ask?
Could you choose? I think for a long time I thought that conscious movement was important. I used to be super duper duper active. And I mean, not just active. I was that fitness bitch. I was working out probably I was definitely working out 6 to 7 days a week, definitely for an hour a day. And so I always thought movement was the most important, but I've really come around to realizing that movement is nothing without breath. Movement doesn't really do your body any benefits without breath. But if you're just breathing all the time, that's not really going to do a lot for your body either. No. So I don't know what's more important. I like the question, though. I like that you're making me choose.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I don't know. Why would I ask a question I don't know to? Yeah, I don't think I can choose because
I respect that.
You literally just said they go hand in hand. So,
and they do go hand in hand, but that's why I like the question.
I know.
Which is more important?
You know, it's like would you rather have this or that?
Yeah.
Would you rather consciously breathe or would you rather consciously move?
Or which one do you think is the most important for long-term payoff?
Damn, I
think we need some help.
Yeah, I don't know. I like both. I think they both have their own importances.
Of course. But that's not the question.
No, I don't know.
I honestly, to everyone watching to this point, I'm like, please comment below And please let us know which one is more
Yeah.
important, conscious breathing or conscious moving.
Please tell
And
us.
if you had
so
to
curious.
choose one, you can only have one or the other.
Then I think I have to have an answer.
Yeah, we're in this is like some fucked up
Questions.
Yeah, some fucked up showdown.
Oh my gosh.
How dare you make me choose?
I know. How dare I ask? But that's all right. Definitely let us know what you think, because we will absolutely be asking that from now on. Which one do you choose? And I'm going to ask my coworkers. And who are you going to ask, Kat? In your personal life?
I want to ask my parents, but I'm scared they'll say neither.
Oh, that would be... Okay.
Oh, don't let it be too dark or too deep.
No. Guess what? They're not going to do that. Hopefully they'll choose, or they'll say, I don't know, like me.
And they'll see the importance of both.
Hopefully. If not, that's okay. That's their choice.
That is. Okay. Well, I have had a lovely time with you this morning, Kyla.
Oh, and ditto. I am ready to go on with my day.
Yeah, get a little movement in, get a little breath work.
I love you, Kat.
I love you too, Kyla.
Bye, Meow Meow.
Bye.
Alrighty, you lovely meows. We love you deeply, and we thank you dearly for joining us in our journey today.
Subscribe to the 6 a.m. Meow Meows to get notifications for future episodes. If you wish for more meows in your life, you can connect with us on Instagram for additional insight into the topics discussed, inspiration that has encouraged us, and of course, cats. We also include questions to ask yourself, writing prompts, as well as tools, tips, and tricks related to today's episode.
If you're more of a visual person, find us on YouTube for the video version of these podcasts, or you can join us on the conversations on Facebook. Share what you think, what you learned, or something you would like to add to our discussions.
To get in touch with us, or if you have any questions, email us at the6ammeowmeows@gmail.com.
All of these links will be listed below, so scroll on down to get connected.
As always, we are learning on this journey, so your comments, perspectives, ideas, and considerations are not only appreciated, but a fundamental part in helping us gain understanding and shifting our current realities.
Again, thank you for your time, and have a perfect rest of your day. Goodbye, beautiful Meow Meows.
Bye!